Hello, my name's Charles Delastic. I'm the Managing Director of Blue Bond Tax Planning. We've been inheritance tax specialists for more than 18 years and have helped hundreds of clients save millions of pounds on their estate planning and inheritance tax planning. So today's video is around the practical subject of family investment companies and how do you actually place the investments into a family investment company. So today's video is around how do you actually place investments into a family investment company? What's the process? So the reasons for family investment companies are covered in plenty of our other videos. So today's video will stick to this specific practical question. Now, when you transfer investments into a company, you could actually take the investments themselves. Say you've got a brokerage account with somebody and you transfer the name of the brokerage account to the company. Now, effectively, that means the ownership of that account transfers to the company and the investments at the same time transfer to the company without actually selling down the investments. You would need to check with your brokers as to whether that was possible, and in most cases it is. However, the movement of the asset value would generate immediate capital gains tax liabilities because a company is a separate legal entity, for want of a better expression. It's taxed differently and carries a company can continue without you, which is the whole point. So effectively that immediately generates capital gains tax liabilities, in which case you need to be careful about how you deal with that. However, in some cases, it is better to pay 10 or 20% capital gains tax rather than wait and pay 40% tax. In fact, if you may live another 20 years, your value of your investment may double, and then instead of paying 10% on the value today, you pay 40% on double the value when you eventually die, which makes no sense. So sometimes it is worth paying the capital gains tax, but as much as possible, we would try and avoid that. So the transfer of existing investments is only possible with the permission of the company with whom you have the registered investments with. So another alternative way is, of course, to just liquidate the investments and put them into cash. Of course, this would then immediately generate the capital gains tax again, but the cash can be placed into the family investment company. So I've just put in a little point here. If you're finding this video useful, please give us a thumbs up and a like. And if you find the channel useful, why not recommend it to a friend to help them with their inheritance tax planning? So continuing on, when the money goes into the family investment company, you can exchange that money and cash either for director's loans, because you will be appointed a director, or something called redeemable preference shares. Now, once the money's in the company, then any growth on the investment would then be subject to corporation tax from the company, and you could extract the money from the company via the director's loans, and therefore if you extract that repayment as a director's loan, it will be free of tax because it's a repayment of capital. If, however, you extract the money as dividends, then dividend tax will be payable as well. Therefore, I'm making the point that the growth on the investment will be subject to corporation tax inside the company. So the other possibility is to exchange the value of the investments for redeemable preference shares. So what is a redeemable preference share? It's effectively a share class which has a fixed value. So if you invest a million, you put £1 million into your company, you could have thousands of pounds worth of £1 million worth of redeemable preference shares. You could have more than 1,000 shares, effectively adding up to 1 million. but the value stays fixed forever. There's no increase in the value. Any increase in the value of the company goes to what's a separate share class, which is the growth shares. So those redeemable preference shares could be placed into either a discretionary trust, and therefore it takes 7 years to come outside of your estate, or you can put it into an employee benefit trust. Now, if the shares are placed into employee benefit trust, you would do that alongside any capital shares you were putting into an EBT, which may carry large capital gains tax issues. But this will have the advantage of the money being outside of your estate immediately. The other benefit of the redeemable preference shares is, of course, if they go into a trust, you can defer the decision as to who's going to get the money to the trustees for years and years. Whereas if you give away a director's loan, you need to be making that decision probably before you're age 75, because there's a 7-year time frame before it's outside of your estate. So hopefully that's useful. If you enjoyed it, give us a thumbs up and a like, and please recommend the channel to other people. But thanks for listening, and bye for now. Bye.